from the Department of Education on the campus of Oklahoma State University and the studios of KJRH-TV. Welcome to the 10th annual OSU Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Your host, Chip Beal.
The Oklahoma State University College of Education welcomes you to the Texaco Star Academic Challenge. This is our 10th annual tournament, and we started with 45 schools, and this is the quarterfinals. And Bishop Kelley and Little Axe will be competing today. Each team has a 2-0 record coming in, and this sound, players, means you're right. This sound means you're wrong. This tone ends each quarter. Good luck to both schools. Here's your first question. It's worth 10 points. Marian Anderson was the first black soloist to sing with New York City's Metropolitan Opera after the DAR prevented her from performing in Constitution Hall of Washington, D.C., which woman arranged for her to sing before...
Little Axe, Josh.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yes, before 75,000 people at the Lincoln Memorial in 1939. Little Axe first on the scoreboard. During World War II, what was the term that referred to the war effort in the United States by...
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Home front.
By civilians, home front, and Bishop Kelley strikes. Who said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Gandhi.
Not Gandhi. Not a bad guess. Little Axe, can you take it?
Little Axe, Josh.
Martin Luther King, Jr.
That is correct. Good for you. Name the nomadic herdsmen of the Syrian, Arabian, and Sahara deserts who, though Muslims, still retain pre-Islamic beliefs and speak Arabic.
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Bushmen.
Not the Bushmen. Jim, Little Axe? What are they called?
Little Axe, Josh.
Nubian.
No, they're Bedouins. No score. Here is a vocabulary question. This adjective means playful or jocular. It's unusual in that it contains all the vowels in their proper order, A through U.
Bishop Kelley, Jordan.
Facetious.
And the word is facetious. That is correct. According to researchers at Cornell University, calorie counting is not the best way to lose weight. Instead, serious dieters should cut the amount of what dietary component?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Fat.
Fat, right. So that it equals no more than 20 to 25% of all calories consumed, as you knew, Jim. Until the 9th century, most prose in England was written in which language?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Latin.
Latin is correct. That's 3 in a row for Bishop Kelley. A writer's choice of words, a significant component of his style, is called...
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Diction.
Diction. And Jim's on a hot streak. What access did the Polish corridor provide for Poland after the First World?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Allowed them access to the sea.
More specific.
The Baltic Sea.
Access to the Baltic Sea is right. The corridor was 10 miles wide and 100 miles long and contained the port of Danzig. Here's a literary question. A walking tour through the Black Forest provided materials for his book, A Tramp Abroad. Name the author.
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Twain.
Mark Twain is correct. And the Jim Hogan Show continues with this geography question. What city in Oklahoma has replaced Peoria as the most ordinary spot in America?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Tulsa.
It is Tulsa, according to Donnelly Marketing. In 1965, he wrote his parents in Argentina, "Once again, I feel between my heels the ribs of Rosinante. Once more, I hit the road." He thereupon resigned as Cuban economics minister and hit the road as a freelance revolutionary. Who was he? Che Guevara. And Jim's streak of 6 or 7 in a row may be an all-time record, but it comes to an end. Okay, here's a music question. During a performance, a member of the percussion section of the orchestra patiently awaits the moment when he will fire the cannon toward the end of what dramatic work?
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
1812 Overture.
That's the work by Peter Tchaikovsky that we were looking for. And there's the tone. We're out of time in the first quarter. We'll be back to meet the contestants and have our first 60 seconds round after you watch this. And we're all set for the first 60 seconds round. We'll be set, that is, after we meet each of our contestants. Let's turn first of all to Bishop Kelley High School, where we meet John Powers, a junior who is studying music and enjoys playing computer games. Now we turn to the captain, Jim Hogan, a senior, participates in cross country and wrestling team, and he coaches elementary school basketball. Jordan is next. Jordan Massad, a senior, runs in track and enjoys playing basketball, and he plans to attend Caltech. And Tim Edwards, a junior, member of the academic decathlon team. With Scott McDowell, Chris Sanders, and Philip DiBiase, their alternates, and their coach, Ms. Jamie Howland. That's the team from Bishop Kelley High School. Their opponents, Little Axe, meet Lance Griffith, a senior, runs cross country and plans to attend the University of Oklahoma. The captain is Michael Lell, a senior, participates in drama, in the chorus, and the FCA, it's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And his hobbies include tennis and music. We turn now to Vincent Burcham, a senior, runs cross country and plays on the tennis team. And Josh Cochran, a sophomore, also on the cross country team, and with their alternates, Heather Heitkamper, Samantha Medeiros, Charles Stevens, and Jason Harris, and their coach, Gail Lindsay. That's the team from Little Axe. And our judges for the Texaco Star Academic Challenge, I'm proud to introduce them. They are from the College of Education, Oklahoma State University. They are Professors William Siegel, Jan Marks, Steve Marks, and Lynn Arney. Their decisions will be final. Players, your 60 seconds round in this quarter are nations, Nobel Prizes, and math. Once you make a selection, we start the clock. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. Any questions Mr. Pass will be referred to your opponent. And if you sweep the category, 20 points will be yours as our free gift. Little Axe, Michael, make it a good one.
We'll take nations, please.
Nations is the category. Start the clock. Here we go. From each of the following groups, identify the largest nation by area. Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore. Which is the largest?
Sierra Leone.
Togo, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad Tobago.
Bolivia, Bulgaria, Brazil.
Brazil.
Central African Republic, Colombia, Congo.
Colombia.
Right. Costa Rica, Cuba, Cyprus.
Cuba.
That's the one. Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg.
Lithuania.
Mexico, Monaco, Mongolia.
Mexico.
Spain, Sweden, Switzerland.
Spain.
Right. New Zealand, Nicaragua, Norway.
Norway.
Somalia, South Africa, Sudan.
Sudan.
That's an impressive 90 points. And we ran out of questions just as we heard the sound. 9 out of 10. Bishop Kelley, identify the largest nation from this list. Togo, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago.
Togo.
Togo is right. Bishop Kelley, it's your turn. You want Nobel Prizes or math?
We'll take math.
They're going for math. Okay, start the clock. Here we go. If an hour and a half of bowling costs $1.50, how much would 6 hours cost?
I know, hour and a half. Times 4. $6.
Insert two geometric means between 5 and 625.
25 and 125.
What is the largest angle in a parallelogram in which one angle measures 30 degrees?
150 degrees.
What type of variation is a function in which the product xy is always the same?
Direct.
Multiply negative 5x cubed by negative 3x. What is your product?
15x to the 4.
15x to the 4.
6 squared to the 1/2 power is equal to what?
6.
6.
By what number would you multiply n to the 6th power in order to produce n to the 11th power as the product?
End of the fifth.
End of the fifth.
The 465th and last, oh, time ran out, and they got 60 points. A nice job in math. We have 1 and a fraction to refer to little x. What type of variation is a function in which the product xy is always the same?
Ratio.
No, that's an inverse variation. And the 465th and last, we didn't get much information before we ran out of time. Based on that little tidbit, you want to hazard a guess or not?
A year and 2 months.
No, that's a good try, though. Proposition in Euclid's Elements proves that there are only a certain number of regular solids. How many? 5 would have been the answer. And that closes the book on the first of our 60 seconds rounds. We'll come back and play another one in just a moment.
My hero, Isaiah Thomas. Kevin Costner. Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero, Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
We're glad you've stayed with us for more of OSU's Texaco Star Academic Challenge. Our halftime score is 110 to 160 in favor of Bishop Kelley. Your 62nd round categories this time are Henry Ford, Finish the Quotation, and Leftovers. Again, Little Axe Trails, so Michael and company, what's your pleasure?
We'll take quotes, please.
Finish the Quotation it is. Start the clock, here we go. Troubled people out of touch with God are said to be at their wits' blank, according to Psalms.
End.
Shakespeare's immortal sonnet finds the poet in this condition: when in disgrace with fortune and...
Glory.
It derives from a fable by Aesop. Slow and steady.
Wins a race.
It was Andy Warhol who said, in the future, everyone will be famous for...
15 minutes.
John Kennedy proclaimed, the torch has passed to a new generation of...
People.
Those who opposed the war in the Persian Gulf vowed no blood for...
Oil.
One of the best-loved Christian hymns was written by a former slave trader. It goes, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a...
Wretch. Like me.
Nicholas Butler Murray defined an expert as one who knows more and more about...
Nothing.
Jefferson asserted that rebellion to tyrants is obedience to...
Oneself.
Cervantes urged that we may... And time runs out. 50 points for Little Axe on Finish the Quotation. Very well, Bishop Kelley. Shakespeare's sonnet finds the poet in this condition: when in disgrace with fortune and...
Fame.
and men's eyes. John Kennedy proclaimed the torch has passed to a new generation of...
Americans.
Yes. Nicholas Butler Murray defined an expert as one who knows more and more about...
Less and less.
Right. Jefferson asserted that rebellion to tyrants is obedience to...
God.
Yes. And Cervantes urged that we didn't get to finish the question. He was known for lots of proverbial sayings, so you will really...
Kill windmills.
No, make hay while the sun shines. Okay, Bishop Kelley, you're in the catbird seat. Do you want Henry Ford or leftovers?
We'll take leftovers.
Okay. Leftovers it is. Start the clock, here we go. It's the most common form of pure carbon found in meteorites and the least common on Earth itself.
Oh,
Iridium.
What is the title of the person whose responsibility is to transcribe the testimony and proceedings in a trial?
Court reporter.
When combined, the postal abbreviations of what two states form the word wide?
Delaware,
Wisconsin, Delaware.
Wisconsin and Delaware.
The aardvark is a native of which continent?
Africa.
Yes. Mercredo is which day of the week in Esperanto?
Monday.
About 25% of the U.S. oat crop winds up at the grocery. Most of the rest is used as what?
Feed. Animal feed.
Animal feed is correct. P.J. McGuire set this holiday to fall about midway between July 4th and Thanksgiving.
Oh. Labor Day.
Over 3/4 of Oregon's electric power is produced by what type of power plant?
Hydroelectric.
You got it just in time. That is correct. And 60 points for Bishop Kelley on leftovers. It means a possible 20 for you, Little Axe. It's the most common form of pure carbon found in meteorites and the least common on Earth itself.
Bismuth.
Diamond. Mercredo is which day of the week in Esperanto?
Wednesday.
Wednesday is correct. And that ends our second 60 seconds round. We'll be back in a moment to play the final quarter. Stay with us, won't you? Let's check that scoreboard as we start the fourth period. It is 170 for Little Axe, 250 for Bishop Kelley. Players, we're into the fourth quarter. That means a series of rapid-fire questions until time runs out. Winner goes on to the semifinals. Here's a history question. In 1854, Congress allowed which two territories to decide...
Little Axe, Josh.
Kansas and Nebraska.
To decide for themselves whether to allow slavery. That's right. In which town was Leonardo da Vinci born?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Venice.
Say again?
Venice.
Not Venice.
Little Axe, Josh.
Milan.
No, the answer is Vinci. All right, you might need paper and pencil, who knows. Within 3 degrees Celsius, what is the average temperature of the universe? We'll accept your answer within 3 degrees either way.
Bishop Kelley, John.
Negative 268 degrees.
That is correct. Very good. Negative 270 degrees to be exact. Which object would not use the number pi in calculating its area or volume? From this list, cone, cylinder, sphere, pyramid, or ellipse?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Pyramid.
That is correct. Another multiple choice question. King Midas is a figure from Greek mythology, the Bible, Scottish history,
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Greek mythology.
and not Grimm's fairy tales or Aesop's fables. When a jet aircraft accelerates upon takeoff, a loud noise may occur when a particular device...
Bishop Kelley, John.
Sonic boom.
...ignites. What's that device called? Little axe.
Little axe, Vincent.
Afterburner.
It is the afterburner, yes. The story of a mouthful of pebbles may be legend, but his fame is fact. Who am I talking about?
Bishop Kelley, Jordan.
Demosthenes.
Demosthenes is right. The famed Greek orator. Players in plants, what term refers to a ripened ovary?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
A fruit?
That's the word. Right, you are. This is a chair or settee designed to hold two people. Its name...
Little axe, Michael.
Love seat.
Name was derived from its intended purpose, yes. The feuding Hatfields and McCoys lived near the border of what two states?
Little axe, Vincent.
Tennessee and Kentucky.
Incorrect. Bishop Kelley?
Bishop Kelley, John.
Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Kentucky and Virginia. I'm sorry, Kentucky and West Virginia. The Sun Belt is the southern U.S. area extending from Virginia to California, which has experienced the greatest population growth in recent years. What do we call the region of the country, especially in Alabama and Mississippi, where the soil is rich and dark and especially suited for cotton growing?
Little Axe, Josh.
The Delta.
No. Bishop Kelley?
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
Cotton Belt.
No, that's the black belt. Science question, how many neutrons would be in the core of a beryllium atom, which has an atomic weight
Little Axe, Vincent.
3.
of 9? Kelley?
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
6.
It's 5. In what woodcut did Albrecht Dürer depict the personification of pestilence, war, death, and destruction?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
The 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse.
The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse is right. In the court case Roth versus U.S., obscene materials were defined how?
Little Axe, Josh.
I know it when I see it.
No, that was a quotation from one of the justices in the case, I believe. But Bishop Kelley?
Bishop Kelley, John.
Anything that causes emotional trauma to either of the defendants.
No, they are defined as utterly without redeeming social value. If a colony of ants takes up residence in a garden, they're probably not attacking the plants, but are after an insect that feeds...
Bishop Kelley, John.
Aphid.
Feeds on the plant and secretes a sweet nectar, right. Only 9 states have populations less than 1% black. Name 3 of them.
Little Axe, Josh.
Hawaii, Alaska, and Oklahoma.
No.
Bishop Kelley, John.
Alaska, Hawaii, and Montana.
Montana was the only one you mentioned that's in this list. The others, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. A science question, every isotope of every element of atomic number 84 or higher is radioactive and unstable. Only 2 such elements have isotopes stable enough that an appreciable fraction of their atoms can remain unchanged over eons of time. Name either one of these most stable.
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
Uranium.
And thorium is the other. Very good. Fighters strafe a red column. UN asked, imposed sanctions on North. Russia is told, stop the war. MacArthur in charge. These headlines referred to what nation in 1950?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Korea.
Korea is correct. I have a math question for you. A cube has a volume of 64 cubic inches. What is the area of one of its...
Bishop Kelley, Jordan.
16 square units or inches.
Yes. The original White House was the color of the pale Virginia sandstone used to build it. The British put the mansion to the torch in 1814, and when it was rebuilt, the walls were painted white to hide the smoke stains. What was the original color?
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
Green.
Not green. Little Axe?
Little Axe, Lance.
Brown.
It's gray. In 1972, a politician was driving home from work when he had the misfortune of colliding...
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Ted Kennedy.
No, with 2 parked cars. A newspaper reporter, or newspaper reports, quoted witnesses as saying that he was obviously drunk. He told police who came to investigate, leave me alone. I'm Speaker of the House. You can't touch me. I just got you raises. Who was this Oklahoman? Speaker of the House.
Little Axe, Josh.
Carl Albert.
Carl Albert is right. According to World Book, George Orwell was right in considering what to be the smartest
Little Axe, Michael.
Pigs.
of farm animals. Good anticipation, Michael. Players, I want you to name any 2 of the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden.
Little Axe, Josh.
The Tigris and the Euphrates.
That is correct. The Pison and the Gihon were the others. Your next question is in the field of history. When a Mississippi town refused to accept a black American woman as Postmaster General in 1903, this U.S. president responded by closing the post office.
Bishop Kelley, Tim.
Roosevelt.
More specific?
Theodore.
And it was Theodore Roosevelt. Right. What was the first Asian country to detonate a nuclear bomb?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
The USSR.
Little Axe?
Little Axe, Josh.
China.
China is correct. Which of these countries does not border the Persian Gulf? Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, Iraq, or Yemen?
Little Axe, Josh.
Yemen.
That's the answer. Which of the following battles was fought by the Russian and French armies in 1812 and is described in Tolstoy's War and Peace? Would it be El Alamein, Poitiers, Balaclava, or Borodino?
Bishop Kelley, Jordan.
Borodino.
Borodino it was. As the term is used in physics, explain the meaning of black body.
Bishop Kelley, Jordan.
An object which absorbs all light that comes unto it.
And, in fact, all electromagnetic radiation, Jordan. Right. 5 paper bills are used in day-to-day transactions. Of those 5, 2 feature men other than presidents.
Little Axe, Josh.
Alexander Hamilton and Benjamin Franklin.
That's correct. The $10 and the $100 bill. Which language is used in the scientific names for all constellations?
Bishop Kelley, Jim.
Latin.
Latin is right, and Jim is cleaning up on Latin today. What do we call a number that is exactly equal to the sum of all its...
Bishop Kelley, John.
Perfect number.
all of its factors other than itself, and Bishop Kelley has reached the 400-point barrier. A history question. David Lloyd George, Vittorio Orlando, Georges Clemenceau, and Woodrow Wilson.
Little Axe, Josh.
The Versailles Treaty Conference.
How were these men collectively known in 1919? Is that it? Bishop Kelley, Tim.
The Big Four.
Big Four is correct at the game-ending tone. We'll check the score and tell you who won in just a moment.
My hero, Isaiah Thomas. Kevin Costner. Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero, Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
By a score of 260 to 410, our winners, Bishop Kelley, they advance to the semifinals. On our next show, it's going to be Booker T. Washington and Shawnee High School. I'm Chip Beal. Join us then, won't you? So long, everybody.